Please note that this video is just for fun. I'm not trying to sell you on this champion. I'm not trying to do anything with this champion except just have some fun with him at maximum potential. And yeah, Bullseye, when he's really invested in, has some pretty crazy damage output, and he accesses it really fast too. So yeah, honestly, I am very surprised on how powerful this champion is at this rank, but then again, I feel like most characters are really good at this level, but this right here is just really crazy. This was about a 34-second fight for over 600,000 health. So yeah, a really fun matchup here. But then again, that was with literally everything, right? Full boosters, full synergy, full recoil masteries, and class advantage. But that's still pretty good, right? It's still respectable. It's not like the level of some other champions at max rank probably. For example, Hitmonkey would probably be what, 20 something seconds, I bet, but it still is pretty nice for a champion that was called a noodle. But Bullseye, when he's not invested into properly, no recoil masteries and just a 565 one, it is pretty dry for sure. And I know that because I used that for my showcase with him, I think a week ago or something. It wasn't pretty, but he still is a very good character because his defensive value is just off the charts. He is easily the best defender in the game right now, and his utility is just really strong too. But when you have this damage output as well, it's really a thing of beauty, and it's just so fun as well. This character's playstyle is amazing. You cannot knock how fun this character is. Everything else I think is pretty decent overall, but what he was made for, he is doing very well. And this is just a nice cherry on top because it at least shows that you can have fun with this champion, right? Because I know that he is a really popular villain. He has pretty much icon status at this point, and people really wanted him to be really strong. And I'll be honest, I don't think he is the new strongest skill champion, of course, but he still does some stuff, pretty well. And when he's really invested into, he has that really good damage output, right? But I feel like most characters do have that damage output at this level, but I think Bullseye's is definitely above average whenever he is properly invested into. But yeah, we get the intercept here, drop a combo, and that just does it. And that was about 1 minute and 42 seconds. So not too shabby at all. Now we have this Red Skull here. And these burst matchups are just insane, really, because it's one SP2 and the fight is just over, just like that. Now, Red Skull is one of the newest annoying defenders in the game. Yes, there have been so many as of recently. It is honestly really hard to keep up with, but he is one of them. And what makes him annoying is that really accessible auto block. But as you see here, Bullseye has true accuracy. So yeah, pretty much a nothing fight with Bullseye. Honestly, one of the better Red Skull counters, which is good because we need all those counters. He is really annoying. So we drop a combo, drop the relic, and yeah, that just does it in about 30 seconds as well. So a very fun time. Now we have this miss path, and of course Bullseye does not miss, and nothing much to it, right? He just doesn't miss. He counters evade and auto block, so he pretty much just counters the big three really easily. So yeah, that is great utility, right? And not only that, if you've been noticing, whenever I drop my heavy attack, I purify the debuffs off of me, which is really good as well because that counts for any debuff in the game. So bleed, poison, you name it, he can just get rid of it. So here I dropped the SP2, some pretty nice damage for sure. And Nebula here is bleed immune as well. So this is a very unideal matchup, but he still just crushes it because yeah, at this level, he just crushes pretty much anything in the game. But now we have this Cyclops fight. Also no big deal, just a pretty standard fight here. Drop the heavy attack, purify the poison, and we are just good to go. But yeah, that purify is just so good. It makes him really strong with the recoil masteries, and I feel like the recoil masteries might be a must-have for Bullseye because without it, the damage output does just feel really dry. But yeah, here we dropped the SP2, and this just about does it because yeah, that damage output is just something else really. One more combo, and that is that. Pretty good stuff there. Now we have a boss fight. We have this Immortal Hulk with Do Not Go Gentle and Ebb and Flow Heavy. Now this is pretty straightforward because Bullseye, fun fact, his evade counts as an intercept. So not only is that good for like these type of nodes, but it's also really good for the Alliance War attack tactic, which he just got added to as well. So imagine Bullseye like this fully boosted in Alliance War. It's going to be some crazy stuff, right? And with Alliance War, you want to boost this heavy all the time. So this is like pretty practical for an Alliance War like showcase. So yeah, expect Bullseye to go this crazy in Alliance War. He should be great for like the Quicksilvers, for any of the evade champions, maybe like Spider-Ham, Titania, just because Titania is always a problem. He should be pretty decent for most of the Science champions. Now, I think, you know, there are better options for some matchups, especially the ones that, you know, he just isn't the most common option for, like I-Bomb, for example, but he really just does crush most Science champions because of that true accuracy, the miss counter. There are just a lot of ways for Bullseye to be really good with the next tactic. So yeah, I am pumped to see how he does there. I have really high expectations for sure, because if he is doing this good, like at this level with these boosts, then in Alliance War, it should be really similar too. So yeah, that was a pretty clean fight for sure. Now we have this Modok matchup, and this Modok matchup is also pretty straightforward. Like true accuracy just does its job right. Easy counter, like easy matchup for sure. Here we can just bait out the heavy attack, get the evade going, drop the SP1, and that is Modok locked down for the rest of the fight. So it is crazy just how fast he locks down some of these matchups, and there is just nothing else to it. You go in, you do your damage, and that's pretty much just it. Just doing your damage output. Like really, it's so simple, and it's so fun as well because he's such a fun champion to play. But here Modok is just being a bit passive. He drops the SB2. I missed the Dex because I can never Dex that for some reason, but it's no big deal. I dropped the SP1 again. We're back to just locking him down, and this is just going really good so far. Drop the heavy attack, a nice 30-something thousand crit, and this has just been such a fun fight. And here I just cannot get the Dex for some reason, but Dexing is overrated, so yeah, I'm not even fussed about that. I drop another SP1, a nice 19,000 crit there. Here he drops his own, but at this point the matchup is just over. Get the intercept, drop one more SP1, and yeah, that just does it. A really clean fight there. Bullseye, he is just made for this stuff, man. And of course, like, this is really boosted gameplay, so it's not that practical, but the fact that he can still do the fight is what matters, really. Like, having access to that damage output and also that utility as well, it is just such a great pairing. But now we have this really complex matchup. This is Bullseye versus Gauntlet Spider-Ham. And this matchup is really annoying because he is debuff immune, and that's just not fun for any champion, right? But Bullseye just does not need debuffs, and plus he counters the evade, so we are just in a great spot here. And additionally, with a heavy attack, he also counters the taunt as well. And this fight has always been so annoying because the taunt from Spider-Ham, it's really potent, and you like really notice it for sure, but Bullseye thankfully just drops a heavy attack, and then that's it, no more taunt. Here I drop the SP1, get some nice crits going, but keep in mind that Spider-Ham does reduce special attack damage for each spider nonsense, so yeah, this guy is just really annoying for sure, but Bullseye is just one of the better counters for sure. And so far so good here. Like, it's a pretty repetitive matchup, just bait out the SP1, drop the heavy attack, and that's about it. But yeah, this isn't a fast matchup for pretty much any champion in this game because he just doesn't need the debuffs at all, but most champions do, especially those skill characters. But there I drop another heavy attack, and we are just pretty much done with this fight. Just one more SP1 should do it. There I drop the counter, get the SP1 going. Not the best damage output because of the taunt, but it's fine. And yeah, just a really clean fight overall. A nice 16,000 medium there, and then another just beautiful SP1. And Bullseye is honestly kind of surprising me right now. But then again, we have full boosters up, we have full synergy and everything. And yeah, that'll do it for this video. Really fun champion. Great defender, which is what he was made for, right? So keep that in mind. He was made for defense. He is not an attacking champion, even though he did pretty good here, right? But yeah, let me know your thoughts on Bullseye, and yeah, that's about it for me.